We'll first begin with this special coverage on the warlike violence going on in Bangladesh, Dhaka. We will be joined by our correspondent for the latest updates and detailed discussions. But before that, before we get into the latest updates, here is a follow-up on what has taken place in the last 24 hours and what led to the violence. So in the heart of Dhaka, the capital city of Bangladesh, anti-quota protests have been taking place and have taken a heated turn as groups allegedly tied to the ruling party clashed with the student demonstrators. Over 400 injuries have been reported in the past 2 days, highlighting the intensity of the standoff over the country's job quota system. Now, the violence is taking place in a different country in Southeast Asia. So how does this bother us? But it unfortunately has adverse effects on the students of our country and the states. Amidst the ongoing student unrest in Bangladesh, escalating to the violence and casualties over job quota protests, 41 Indian students, primarily studying medical sciences, have crossed into Karimganj, Assam through the Sutarkandi land port. Deputy Commissioner Mridul Kumar Yadav confirmed that 16 students have arrived on Friday and 25 others on Thursday. Earlier, HornbillTV reached out to some of the students during their evacuation. But now, more students are expected to arrive, prompting deployment of a district magistrate and DSP at Sutarkandi for monitoring and coordination. Authorities are closely monitoring the situation and maintaining contact with the Indian High Commission in Bangladesh and officials in Sylhet district. DC Yadav has assured that none of the 41 students reported any harm during the unrest, with 4 from Tripura and Nagaland, and the rest from Barak Valley districts. To get more detailed updates, we will now be joined by our correspondent from Assam, Anirudh Laskar. Hello, Anirudh.
Yes, tell me.
Anirudh, welcome, Anirudh. Thank you for joining us to discuss on this matter. Anirudh, can you first tell us what the latest developments are on the job quota protests?
Yeah, the latest, you see, the situation which was violent in Bangladesh has hampered the Indian students studying out there. Not only the students of Barak Valley, there were students of other states also. In Barak Valley, in Karimganj district itself, from 18th till yesterday, the number has risen. Now it's not just 41, it has gone up to 56. That's the latest report that we have got. 56 students have entered through Sutarkandi land port. This is an integrated checkpost through which, all the goods and other people also travel through this route. And the Mridul Yadav, the Deputy Commissioner of Karimganj, he has also clarified that as of now we have got 56 students who have entered through Sutarkandi post.
Anirudh, there are also some news updates that the police there have completely failed to restore law and order and the situation there. And now soldiers are patrolling cities across Bangladesh. This shows that the severity of the situation there. Give us some insights on this.
That's true. Bangladesh has, as a country, itself started from a student movement. In 1971, the student force were prominent in getting the country freed, because they fought for the language movement in 1952 when East Pakistan was there. When East Pakistan, they only wanted Urdu to be the language, but the Bangladeshis there fought and made Bengali also an official language. So the student movement was quite vibrant in Bangladesh right from 50, 60 years back. And this time around, when the student protest started, because the quota system allows 30% seats for those who have fought in the 1971 war and the relatives of their grandchildren or children, and they can get government jobs for 30%. But now the court has given a verdict that it will be only 5% now. And let's see what the students in Bangladesh feel about the decision that has come from the court in Bangladesh. But not only that, the students, if you talk about Indian students studying out there, those who don't get chances to study out here in medical or engineering courses, they opt for it. Most of the students which have come from Bangladesh, they are students who have applied for medical sciences. In fact, yesterday itself, I spoke to one of the students. She is from Katlichar of Hailakandi district, which is a very neighboring district of mine. And she came from Kumilla. Comilla is not close to Sylhet district. We are close to Sylhet district. But she came all the way from Comilla, but she entered via Agartala and took a train to Badarpur in neighboring Silchar, and from there she went to Katlichora. She was saying that the situation not only was stagnated between Dhaka and its areas, but it spread throughout Bangladesh. Comilla, Sylhet, and many other districts were burning. That's the reason why the Indian students had to come fleeing from that foreign country, Bangladesh.
All right, Anirudh, could you discuss any potential spillover effects of the Bangladesh unrest on you've mentioned just now that it has been having adverse effects on the neighboring cities and the neighbors of Bangladesh. So now, could you spill some adverse effects how it's affecting the neighboring regions or countries, especially concerning security of economic stability?
That's true. In fact, Deputy Commissioner Mridul Yadav of Karimganj yesterday said there is no such tension in our borders. But students who are studying there, for example, I cited of this girl in Katlichora, her name is Ishani Pandey. She was into her third year and just gave our half-yearly exam, and she was doing very well in Mainamati Medical College in Comilla. She said that in Comilla itself, there was a protest in a bypass area, which is just a few kilometers from the Comilla heartland, the town, Comilla main city's heart. It was very nearby, where it was burning, and there were clashes with the students and the security forces. So these things made a big impact on such students. The fear psychosis prompted them to come back from that place and to Barak Valley and the places that they were students are from. Not only that, she also made specific that not only students of Barak Valley, the students from all over other states of India, they too have also left Bangladesh from 19th onwards. And the Indian High Commission is playing a pivotal role, in seeing to it that the students are safely taken to the borders and handed over to the Indian authorities.
Anirudh, coming back to this, are there any comparisons or parallels being drawn between the current unrest and past instances in Bangladesh history, especially regarding its impact on the neighbors?
No, you see, this time around, not only the student unrest has not only remained between the students itself, it trickled down to political rivalry between the Awami League and the Jamaat, both the parties, the opposition and the Awami League. And that's why, and she was firm in the Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina, was firm in her stand, and because her father himself fought to bring the liberation of Bangladesh from East Pakistan. And that's the reason, these are the factors which would make some impact out there. But what the public of Bangladesh think about the High Court decision, of the court decision, now that the court has said only 5% quotas would be there, will be a thing to watch out for in the days to come.
Anirudh, there's another question. 115 people have been killed according to the updates, but as the numbers differ on every news outlet, has the death toll risen beyond the numbers that are given in the mainstream media? Because with the shoot on order side, what is your say on this?
You see, no, what happened is that, let me explain one more thing, and one more aspect is that yesterday one team from Bangladesh, they went for a cultural program to attend in Sylhet, and they came yesterday to Silchar, and I spoke to them, and they said in Sylhet itself, they were kept in a hotel which was at the center of Sylhet, and there were all government officials surrounding that hotel, like the Deputy Commissioner's office or the SP's bungalow, SP's office, and there itself they saw how the clashes used to take. They said more than students, we could see the number of security forces out there, and they had guns, tanks were running on the streets. Such a scenario makes the picture very dirty in the sense that agitations as such becomes very violent, and there were intense firing also. So how many has been reported officially and how many not would be a thing to watch out for when the entire picture gets clear.
All right, Anirudh, the latest verdict is out. So, can you elaborate on the Supreme Court's decision behind the reduction from 30% to 7% for relatives of war veterans?
You see, Bangladesh, because if this situation goes on, and if they don't decrease it from 30 to whatever percentage they want to give a single-digit figure, the unrest will trickle down to a political situation out there, and a political fight would begin. Sheikh Hasina has also fears of our government. She is into her fourth term, and there is an anti-incumbency factor also. And that is why there are many things which would be a factor to watch out for. And not only that, what the situation turns up in the next few days is very important and crucial for the entire Bangladesh and people living out there and the Indians who also went there to study.
Anirudh, now let's come to the most important person here you've just mentioned, which is the Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Anirudh, according to speculations, this whole protest escalated further after Sheikh Hasina's statement calling the protesters Razakars. Please tell us more about that.
Yes,
Anirudh, and how did the students and the citizens fighting and exercising for their rights be called Razakars?
Yes, that's the thing. Razakars is a term that used to be played during 1971 because not only all of the people of Bangladesh were in support for the liberation of Bangladesh, their country, but there were some others who were supporting East Pakistan. So those who were supporting East Pakistan candidly, so those people are being called as Razakars. And Sheikh Hasina didn't mention anything when this verdict of in 2018 the quota system was halted, and in 1st of July again the court allowed it to be made public and be used, and that's when she gave the statement that should be followed, which the students should have loved. The handling of the situation would have been much better by her, but instead of doing that, she in a open press conference that there are many Razakars also, and that the students didn't like when they were termed as such.
Anirudh, let's talk about the returning students now. We're talking about 41 students here. That's a whole lot of numbers. So besides the protests and the violence, has there been any specific trigger or incidents that prompted their decision to come back?
It's you see, yesterday what I said about Ishani Pandey, I spoke to her and she said the students, she came via Agartala. Many students came by Sutargandhi port of Karimganj, who are basically from Barak Valley and parts of other states, neighboring states of this Barak Valley region. Not only that, there are many other students who have gone via Dauki, those who are from Upper Assam and other parts of northeast of the upper region of the northeast. So the numbers have gone very high, and there is a clear is that Ishani himself, when I spoke to her, she said none of the Indian students have been touched or hurt, and she was very clear that not only that, even the teachers who were teaching them were very careful about the international or foreign students studying out there. They were taking great care of each and every student who have come from outside, and they themselves were, giving the suggestions of sending them back home due to the situation in Bangladesh.
In that case, Anirudh, that's a huge relief for the international students there. But as you know, 4 are from the states of Tripura and Nagaland, and the rest are from the 3 districts of Barak Valley. So besides the girl that you have been in conversation with, have you been able to get in touch or reach out to any of the other students?
You see, it's tough, because they are spread across a very large part of Northeast. And even the girl from Katlichora is almost, the place she stays is around 100 kilometers from I spoke to her over telephone. But I'm trying to reach out to many other students also who have come. And that's the one common factor that they have said that they are very much thankful to the Indian High Commission, for the Indian High Commission has given them support and even provided all the security arrangements in the vehicles for them to be taken to the borders to enter India. Not only that, for example, the Deputy Commissioner of Karimganj, he already has deputed one DSP and a magistrate in the ICP, the Integrated Check Post in Sutarkandi, for liaising and any students they come. A vehicle has been kept there for them to be taken to their homes safely.
All right, Anirudh, I'll wrap up our discussion with this one last question. Anirudh, what measures are being discussed or implemented by authorities to support Indian students who may still be in Bangladesh? Are there contingency plans in place to address any potential escalation or concerns?
Yeah, you see, because not only we are concerned, the entire country is concerned, both from the center as well as the respective states who have their students out there. In fact, a question was asked like how many students are from Assam or how many students are from Tripura or how many students are from Nagaland have come back. But those figures are not with the officials right now because it is with the External Affairs Ministry. They only know how many have gone to Bangladesh and studying there. So, but a close watch is there by the central team as well as the state team and the Indian High Commission about the situation in Bangladesh and the students who are still locked up in Bangladesh who couldn't come to the Indian side.
Well, Anirudh, thank you for joining us today and giving us the details on this matter. As this Thank you, Anirudh. All right, before we conclude, here's a brief overview of the latest developments. So, over 100 people have died in Bangladesh and a massive protest over a government job quota turned violent in the country this week. The protests intensified following Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's controversial remarks where she labelled the protesters as Razakars. Let me tell you that the term Razakar here refers to a group of people who fought against Bangladesh becoming an independent country in 1971. So basically the term has a negative meaning because it relates to opposing the freedom and independence of Bangladesh. In December 2019, the government published a list of 10,789 individuals identified as Razakars, marking the first official recognition of these collaborators. Student protests against the quota system have a history in Bangladesh, and the latest wave began after the decision to reinstate the system, which was followed by the Supreme Court suspending the order pending a government appeal. This legal limbo has left many students frustrated, feeling that their demands for a merit-based system are being ignored. The controversial quota system reserves up to 30% of government jobs for family members of veterans who fought in Bangladesh 1971 war of Bangladesh independence against Pakistan. That is why the protesters advocated for a merit-based system to replace the existing quota. Now the police have been granted shoot-on-sight orders for those defying curfew, and according to the latest updates, after a bloody affair, the Supreme Court in this verdict on Sunday, dated 21, ordered 93% of the government jobs to be allocated a merit-based system, leaving the remaining 7% for relatives of veterans who fought in Bangladesh War of Independence in 1971, and also the other categories. India and its authorities have issued an advisory to its national in violence-hit Bangladesh and facilitated that the return of over 4,500 Indians until yesterday. There were 978 students who returned, and today, according to the latest updates, there are nearly 1,000 Indian students estimated, out of which 41 Northeast students have entered Karimganj through the land port in Sutarkandi, bordering Assam, and 4 are from the states of Tripura and Nagaland. According to the latest updates from PTI, the trade between India and Bangladesh via land ports came to a standstill on Sunday. Officials have stated that there was no movement of cargo trucks to and fro due to the ongoing student protests in Bangladesh. This impacts India greatly because nearly one-third of land-based trade between India and Bangladesh takes place through Petrapur. Inspector General Piyush Patel Purushottam has said that the disturbances in a neighboring country can have spillover effects. West Bangladesh Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee said on Sunday that her government would provide shelter to individuals from Bangladesh who seek refuge amidst ongoing protests in the neighboring country. The Indian High Commission in Dhaka, Bangladesh, advised its nationals in the country to avoid travelling outside their premises in view of the anti-quota protest that has killed many people. The German Ministry of Foreign Affairs advised against travelling to Bangladesh at this time, as of now, the internet remains blocked, telephones are not working properly, and televisions is heavily censored. There are also updates that several official websites in Bangladesh appeared to have been hacked. One message on the Prime Minister's office site that read, "Stop killing students," and then in blood red capital letters, "It is not a protest anymore." Telecommunication blackout has cut the country of 170 million people from the rest of the world. So far, those are the latest updates. Stay tuned as we provide more follow-ups of the story as it progresses.